All right, so our guest on the Z Morning Show today is Katy Perry. Hi.
Hi.
I want to point out, by the way, good morning. I got to sit close to Katy, and Kat, you lost.
I know. I told him.
Actually, she gracefully gave you the option.
You think so?
You're setting her up. That's so manipulative.
No. I came in, I sat down, and you were like, no, you better not sit there, and I did.
Well, sometimes he gives kind of like a creepish vibe when he's around girls. Pretty girls.
Are you creeped out by this?
No, maybe I am.
A little bit. It's all right.
Security just came in the room, just so you know.
There's my 2-minute warning. The last time I saw you here, you had just broken your foot or something like that. The last time.
I just sliced my foot right here. Yeah, it was after the Much Music Awards, and I had a couple too many drinks, and I actually sliced myself in this hotel and had to get 17 stitches.
You still have a scar.
Don't drink. Just don't drink. And look at this scar. Yeah, it's like my biggest scar on my body.
Wow. And that happened here in Toronto.
It happened here in Toronto, and thank God for Canadian healthcare. I was covered. They really looked after me so well. But of course, I had those drinks still in me, so I didn't feel any stitches going through my skin. But yeah, that's like my only battle story about that.
That is the best anesthetic, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've laid off of the drinking since then.
Okay, so your album Prism, beautiful album, by the way. I can tell it's really emotional, an emotional one for you, like a personal album. Yeah. One of the songs in particular, one of my favorites, Unconditionally, which is, of course, a huge hit on the radio right now. A lot of people, including myself, are considering that song as a wedding song.
Oh, you're going to get married?
Kat's engaged.
Yes. Oh, congratulations. Thank you. I'm glad to be in consideration.
Yeah, is that cool, kind of, to think that you'd be part of someone's wedding and stuff like that?
It's a beautiful moment, and to have something to be the soundtrack of it and me to be a part of it, I'm very, very honored if you would pick me. But I know that sometimes there are songs between a couple, that you love, that have special meaning, and that's why you do your first dances too and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And you had a performance last night, and it was a special, smaller venue.
Yeah, it was acoustic.
Do you like that? What do you like differently about that than, say, playing the Air Canada Centre when you're here in Toronto?
Yeah, well, I like playing that venue as well because I get to bring all the bells and whistles. But when I get to go acoustic and just play to a couple hundred people, it's like I really almost get to look everybody in the eyeballs, and so I get a moment of connection with everyone, and I get to almost sing to them, and they sing along as well, so they're singing to me, so we're really directly feeding off of each other's energies, and it's really nice to be able to strip down the songs, just let my vocal be forefront and there and not have to do choreography that I'm not very good at anyways, and just be able to showcase the beautiful songs.
Your name is pretty well synonymous now with number ones. And I mean, it is though. I mean, it's just hit after hit after hit after hit.
I won't always be number one though. I mean, I have to tell a story eventually. I'm telling my story as an artist. And so hopefully people will accept the roller coaster roller coaster ride that it will be my career, I'm sure.
Is there pressure when you're creating this album to think, well, I got to follow up the last one. I mean, we got to go number one.
Well, no, because I don't ever think I can actually duplicate what I did for a Teenage Dream. It was such a combination of, great songs, but also getting lucky with the timing. And I could have never imagined I would have done that. And I know how hard it is to get a number one. But the thing is that, I think there are so many songs on all of our different playlists, like whether it's our workout playlist, our drive playlist, our romance playlist, or just songs that we love that have changed our lives that have never been number one. And those are important songs to us. So I think you have to kind of let the music speak for itself rather than playing a numbers game. But I'm happy. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to be very high on the charts. I'm not saying I'm not grateful, but I will always kind of try to just mostly tell my story. It just so happens people like the story.
Can we ask a couple of the Instagram questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So I love Instagram because there's the picture and people, they have a connection with you right away. So 3 quick ones from Instagram. Are there any songs that you don't like to perform?
There's a couple of songs that I don't care to perform from one of the boys anymore. I won't play You're So Gay anymore. Yeah, there's a couple, just because, when you're doing your first record, even though I like a lot of those songs on one of the boys, like Mannequin and Thinking of You and Hot and Cold and I Kissed a Girl, I still play some of those. But when you're doing your first record, it's a bunch of songs from your whole life that you've kind of written, and some of them are good, some of them are just not so good, and they get really old once you've had 3 records out.
Well, and it changes a lot. Like you change a lot probably as you go too.
Exactly. Like look at your closet. Things you had 3 years ago, you're not so interested in wearing today, right? Or even 8 years ago. I guess you were interested in wearing them when they're like 12 years old because then they're vintage.
Yeah. So I on my playlist, actually, a lot of the songs from One of the Boys, I literally still have the CD because I'm one of very few people who still keep CDs, and I play them in my car all the time.
I love them. I don't ever want them to become extinct, but they will.
So what is on your playlist? Actually, name me something that might surprise people to know. A couple songs maybe they're on your playlist that you like to listen to that might be like, oh, Katy Perry likes that?
I've loved Queen and the Beach Boys. Pet Sounds is one of my favorite records from the Beach Boys. Really influenced my sound growing up at like about 15. But I'm really into new music. I love discovering new artists online, on Twitter, on iTunes. When the music store turns on iTunes on Tuesday, I'm like checking out all the different covers and previewing records, and so I listened to this group called Haim. I really like them. They're an all-girl group.
They were on SNL recently, I believe, right?
Yeah, they're all girl group, like a rock group, and they're really good. They all play instruments and write their own songs. I like them. I take a lot of new artists on tour. There's a country act who is kind of like pop country that I love, named Casey Musgraves. She's got some incredible songs with incredible lyrics and stories, and I hope to kind of take some of these people on tour to introduce their music to the masses.
Dark Horse with Juicy J is something that a couple people asked about, and people say when you hear it, you can hear your emotion in that song. So they want to know where it came from.
Well, that song makes me drop it like it's low, or drop it low, drop it like it's hot, and drop it low. Hot and low, hot and low, and steamy.
Hot, low.
But Dark Horse, it was similar to my experience with E.T. on Teenage Dream. It wasn't. I heard like a snippet of a beat from like 8 bars of this beat that ended up becoming Dark Horse. And it wasn't really for me. It was probably for like a hip hop act, because my producers are so great. They can work with anyone, and they just kind of make these sample beats rather than making whole songs and see if artists like this texture. And so I was like, oh, I'd love to write something on top of that. So I just went and wrote this kind of song that's a bit witchy. It's about about a woman who's a bit witchy, and it's just warning them if they're going to fall in love with her, then be careful because it'll be your last.
Okay, we got to wrap it up soon, but just quickly, do you have any plans for the holidays? Where will you be, and who will you spend the holidays with?
I'll spend the holidays with my family. I'm pretty normal on the holidays. It's just lots of food, lots of spontaneous naps because of the food, just passing out in corners and on couches because you're so tired. Lots of watching like The Christmas Story and watching Miracle on, what is it, 31st Street? 30. I said 31st. My brain is turned to mush right now. But doing that kind of stuff, just being with family, seeing how long we can tolerate each other. And then pushing my mother's buttons and drinking hot toddies and having a grand old time. Just being with my family, really. Yeah. Playing Taboo. We play a lot of Taboo.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you say that's like a family tradition kind of thing?
Well, we don't do presents anymore. We do stockings, and everybody brings a stocking stuffer because it's just too much pressure. It's too much pressure. This present thing, like, you know what? Just bring me a stocking stuffer. One that is creative and that counts. It's just like no more presents. We have enough stuff in our life.
Okay. The album is Prism, and it also makes a fantastic stocking stuffer for anyone who's...
Hey, there we go.
It all ties in.
It does fit into a stocking.
It would definitely fit. So if you're short on gift ideas...
Or an iTunes gift card.
iTunes gift card would work too.
If you're using socks as stockings.
Yeah.
You could do that.
Some people do. The hipsters do. I know that.
Okay, I'm not as cool as them.
Kat still likes old school CDs.
I do. I like my CDs, so I like my stockings big. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Oh, thank you guys.
And have a Merry Christmas too.
You too. Happy holidays.